Good afternoon, everybody. And welcome to the 2019 Mayor's Performance Awards. I'm Hope Tribble, Director of the Office of Audit and Performance, and I am so excited, as well as honored, to be here with team members and leaders from across the city county to recognize and celebrate Indianapolis Marion County employees who have made significant contributions through their work. This year marks the 9th year of the Mayor's Performance Awards. Today, the mayor will honor individuals and teams for outstanding achievements during the year 2018 in 5 categories: public safety, neighborhoods, customer service, fiscal solvency, and distinguished service. This year, the Office of Audit and Performance received 36 nominations across those 5 categories. The selection of our winners was performed by an independent panel of judges. The winners were chosen based on the nomination criteria that you'll see in your program. And each year with the awards process, we also like to practice continuous improvement. So new this year, the judges were guided by the Equipped to Innovate framework from Living Cities and Governing, in addition to the criteria historically used. The Equipped to Innovate model is an integrated, collaborative framework for building our community's future. An equipped local government builds capacity and competence in 7 ways. It's dynamically planned, it's broadly partnered, it's resident involved, it is race informed, it's smartly resourced, it's employee engaged, and it's data driven. These key outcome elements define high-performing government, and we are pleased to add them as we evaluate our high-performing colleagues in city-county government. Now, at this point in the program, I'd like to introduce all the individuals and teams who were nominated for the Mayor's Performance Award this year. So, Mr. Mayor, if you'd like to turn around and see some of the city's high performers, I invite you to do that. When I call your name or team, please stand and be recognized. And so that we can hear everyone's names, I'll ask you to reserve your applause until I've completed the list. Individual nominees are Shay Anderson, Paula Barnes, Lauren Bassett, Raymond Casanova, and you can remain standing if you don't mind. It won't be too hard. Donald Colvin, David Cook, Ben Easley, Rodney Fields, Vanessa Henshaw, Charles Kelly, Annie Kern, Gregory Kessie, Mary McBeath, Hector Mendoza, Teresa Mendoza, Deanne Milliken, Diane Mims, John Nixon, Shannon Norman, Sherry Powell, April Quintana, Brian Renner, Matthew Renner, Emory Robinson, Amy Wonder, Marion County Community Corrections Devolve Residence Center team. We'll take we need a little bit of time for that. Marion County Community Corrections Processing Department. Department of Metropolitan Development Long Range Planning. Marion Superior Court Adult Probation. And the Marion County Treasurer's Office Tax Refund Exchange and Compliance System Debt Offset Program Team, and the Office of Finance and Management Revenue Recovery Unit. So let's give a round of applause. Yeah, I think it's important that we recognize all of our colleagues who have been nominated. Regardless of the outcomes today, you have done work that has inspired your peers, your managers, your colleagues to shine a light on it, and that's certainly worth celebrating. So I'd also like to take a moment now to acknowledge those who participated in the City of Indianapolis Lean and Six Sigma trainings that's hosted by the Office of Audit and Performance. These individuals have learned the tools and techniques to improve the work of the city and county. Through these trainings, we are building a cadre of people across the enterprise who are inspired and equipped to improve performance. When I call your name, please stand and be recognized so that we can, again, so that we can hear everybody's name, please reserve your applause. So Stephen Barnes, Holly Benedict, Richard Brown, Adriana Burgos, Jamal Diaby, they must be somewhere doing some Six Sigma work. Amanda Davis, India Davidson, Clark Giles, Colleen Lewis, Anna McGinty, Chris Pruitt, Emory Robinson, Sonia Cedar, Jatio Skinner, and Tamika Wilson. Those are our lean training participants. And Six Sigma graduates, Chris Becker, Kim Bortnam, Ryan Click, Allison Eschel, Mark Giblin, Abby Hansen, Sarita Hughes, Jessica Kemp, Sierra Leith, Mark Manship, Jamie Norville, Jack O'Tain, Danny Payne, Al Stovall, Karen Strunk, Dawn Sykes, Phil Trepovic, Michael Tucker, Mike White, and Dale Winston. So we want to thank these folks for helping us to build a culture of innovation throughout the city enterprise. Now, our next speaker needs no invitation because, well, he's our boss. But before I invite Mayor Hogsett for remarks, I'd like to briefly express my appreciation to you for setting the course and providing the framework for these awards through the priorities and the vision that you have set for the city. Would you all please join me in welcoming Mayor Hogsett to the podium?
Very nice of you. Very kind. Well, good afternoon, and welcome to the 9th Annual Mayor's Performance Awards. I would be remiss if I didn't first and foremost return the favor of that kind introduction and ask all of you to join with me in celebrating the exceptional work that Hope Tribble, as the director, and the entire Office of Audit and Performance, the things that they do on behalf of our city each and every day. We are deeply grateful. May I just make one editorial comment, Hope, about these awards, because I know we want to get to the honorees. But I was looking at the presentation ceremony today, and as it relates to the announcement of the awards in each category, I must commend your selection in the area of public safety of asking Deputy Mayor David Hampton to oversee the announcement of that award. Certainly Deputy Mayor Jeff Bennett, who spends all of his time thinking about community and neighborhoods, is quite appropriate to oversee the awards for neighborhoods. Fatty Cadora, is Fatty here? He's ill? Okay. Well, I certainly think that Fatty is quite an important part of fiscal solvency. Now, frankly, as it relates to customer service and distinguished service, I have no idea why Thomas Cook and Tim Moriarty were selected. Not altogether sure the word customer and Thomas Cook go together. And I am doubly sure the word distinguished and Tim Moriarty do not go together. But having said that, today we honor the men and the women who have distinguished themselves by working to make our city, the city that we call home, Indianapolis, a better city. These employees, in tandem with the community members that in a similar ceremony just last night we honored, these employees make our city safer, better, more efficient, more prosperous. This recognition comes from no less a source than the people who know the work that you do the best, those who come to work with you each and every day. To be acknowledged and recommended and nominated and honored by your peers is perhaps the highest honor that you can receive. Because they see what you do, how hard you work, how dedicated your effort is. This year's honorees are men and women who make the streets brighter at night, men and women who make the streets cleaner in the daytime. They are strengthening relationships between community and law enforcement. They are improving cost and wait times for critical city services. And in at least one case, the Distinguished Service Award, leading a distinguished career dedicated to a better Indianapolis, not just this year, not just last year, but distinguished service for decades. Let me close by saying, without all of you, the job that I temporarily possess would be so much harder. I got to tell you, it's hard enough already. And I am proud to be able to serve with each and every one of you every day that we serve together. Nobody appreciates the work that you do more than I do, because every day I consider it a privilege to work alongside the men and the women who we honor today for a better Indianapolis, for a better community, for all. A better community for all the people who call Indianapolis home. So without further ado, let's do just that and honor those who make our city better. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll now move on to the awards presentation of our program. For each category, we're going to have guest presenters this year. We want to thank them. The mayor has already previewed those for you. They're also listed in your programs. So the presenter for each category will come forward, read the names of the award recipients, and as your name is called, please come to the front. And we'll list your accomplishments. And in each category, the team award will be given first, followed by the individual award. Now, when the winners come up, Meredith and Mark, who are here, will we'll hand out your certificate. Then you'll come over to this side where Michael is here. We'll arrange you for a photo with the mayor and to shake his hands. And then Jack, who is there, will direct you off the stage. So we think we have a system here to get you going. So now allow me to introduce Deputy Mayor David Hampton, who will announce the winners in the public safety category.
Thank you, Hope. Thank you, Mayor. I'm really glad not to be Thomas or Tim. It's truly my honor to present for the category of public safety of the Mayor's Performance Award, which recognizes an individual and team who have improved the safety of Indianapolis and Marion County. The recipient of the Team Award in Public Safety is the Marion County Community Corrections Devolve Residential Center. The team was nominated by Shannon Bowling, Devolve Residential Center Manager with Marion County Community Corrections, and Devolve Facility Team is comprised of the following people. Would you please come forward as I call your names? Program Coordinator Danish Abbasi. Lieutenant Brian Ahmed. Correctional Officer Tamika Barnett. Manager Shannon Bowling. Correctional Officer Ronnie Brown. Correctional Officer Michael Carey. Training Coordinator Colleen Carnes. Correctional Officer Harold Colbert. Correctional Officer Sharon Davis. Lieutenant Stephanie Dixon. Correctional Officer Fred Drain. Correctional Officer Amber Easley. Intake Officer Ariana Edwards. Case Management Supervisor Jessica Fink. Intake Officer Amber Fluker. Training Coordinator Kristen Gagliano. Case Manager Cardell Gates. Correctional Officer Fabian Goins. Correctional Officer John Gould. Correctional Officer Melissa Hill. Program Specialist Blake Kreska. Case Manager Eugia Lindsay. Did I say that right? All right. Case Manager Amanda Markland. We're halfway there. Maintenance Supervisor Robert Mays. Intake Officer Kevin McAtee. Lieutenant Michael McGrath. Employment Specialist Patricia Montgomery. Correctional Officer Damon Montgomery. Program Specialist Samantha Moore. Care Manager Timothy Morgan. Correctional Officer Amanda Morin. Correctional Officer Juanita Pemberton. Maintenance Superintendent Nathan Riley. Correctional Officer Suni Sami. Major John Shaw. Case Manager Supervisor Catherine Sheba. Case Manager Jonathan Smith. Quality Assurance Coordinator Marshall Smith. Captain Andrew Stiegel. Correctional Officer Chester Thomas. Case Manager Catherine Webster Serrano. Team Leader Rebecca Wheeler. Correctional Officer Tiana White. CTP Coordinator Kelly Wildrick. Officer Liana Williams Sutton. And Officer Jeffrey Wilson. The Devolve Residential Center in the Spades Park neighborhood houses Marion County Community Corrections residents, Department of Corrections work release residents, and Department of Corrections community transition residents. The Devolve Center takes its engagement in the neighborhood very seriously. In 2018, the Duval Residential Center staff and residents provided 92 hours of community service to assist in neighborhood cleanup, including event setup, tear down, graffiti removal, and similar activities. Residents of the Duval Center volunteer their time. It is never mandated. Duval Residential Center offers transparency into their operations to the Spades Park and other adjacent neighborhoods. Duval staff attend every Near East Side Community Organization meeting and gave a tour of the center to the organization. By keeping a link between the center and neighborhood organizations, the Duval Residential Center staff know how they can best serve the neighborhood. Duval Residential Center staff ensure residents can strengthen connections to their community, their family, and local services. Utilizing evidence-based practices, Duval provided informative, useful, and exciting community events as incentives to their residents in 2018. In the summer of 2018, Duval Residential Center hosted a community resource day to provide clients with easy access to programs and services offered in the community. Both residents of the center and their families were invited to attend. 107 residents and 20 family members participated in the event, which included health screenings for depression, blood pressure and glucose testing, job workshops, a car safety class, and voter registration. Over the course of the day, 38 people were registered to vote. In the fall, residents and their families were invited to an off-site recreation day that included hockey, dodgeball, basketball, and rock climbing. And in the winter, Duval Residential Center hosted its holiday party for residents and their families. There were opportunities for dancing, cookie decorating, and a visit with Santa Claus for all the children in attendance. The Duval Residential Center is a shining example of the Equipped to Innovate element broadly partnered. The center collaborated with the neighborhood organizations, government partners like the Marion County Health Department, and community organizations like the Near East Side Community Organization, Fall Creek Counseling, Public Advocates for Community Reentry, and the Bonner Center to provide the best service possible to the residents. Thank you, Marion County Community Corrections Duval Residential Center, the recipients of this year's Team Public Safety Award. Won't you help me in congratulating them? Thank you all. Great job, Devolve. Thank you for your service and the hard work. And now it's my great honor to present the individual award recipient in the public safety category. And that public safety individual is Sherry Powell. Sherry Powell is Assistant Administrator with the Department of Public Works. She was nominated by Thomas Cook, Chief of Staff to the Mayor. Sherry has worked for the city for more than 30 years and has managed the Streetlights program for 20 years. Because of the previous 35-year moratorium on new streetlights, many neighborhood streets were underlit. Sherry developed spacing standards for lights in neighborhoods to ensure that new lighting requests are treated equitably rather than awarded to the squeaky wheel that complains the loudest. Over the last year, Sherry helped build an algorithm that compares various factors like pedestrian safety, crime, and darkness levels to create a uniform benefit score for every light requested through the Mayor's Action Center or Request Indy. Results of her work will improve public safety by limiting pedestrian accidents and crime. Sherry also improved transparency to constituents. Residents can now track the progress of their requests for streetlights from initial creation to the feasibility review process to installation. Sherry's work epitomizes the equipped to innovate elements smartly resourced because she is ensuring streetlights are placed where they will make the most impact. Thank you, Sherry, for your dedication to this city. Sherry receives her award and takes her picture now with our mayor. Can we give her another hand? Thank you, Sherry. And that concludes the category of public safety. Now may I introduce my colleague and friend, Deputy Mayor Jeff Bennett, who will announce the winners in the neighborhoods category.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Hampton. The Mayor's Performance Awards for Neighborhoods recognize an individual and team who have improved the lives of our residents and the vitality of our neighborhoods. The recipient of the Team Award in the Neighborhoods category is the Department of Metropolitan Development's Long Range Planning Division. The team was nominated by Meg Pernsley, Administrator of the Indianapolis Historic Preservation Commission. The Long Range Planning team is comprised of the following people, so please come forward as I call your names. Administrator of Long Range Planning, Brad Bobian. Community Engagement Vista, Aisha Cheers. Planner Daniel Hedgelin. Senior Planner Callie Kennington. Planner Andrea Miller. And Planning Alumni, if she is here, Jessica Thorpe. In 2018, the Department of Metropolitan Development's Long Range Planning Division completed projects to better serve the citizens of Marion County and provided more transparent data about long-range planning initiatives. In 2018, the Long Range Planning team completed the Indy Moves Plan, which is the city's first comprehensive transportation plan that right-sized our street expansion needs while elevating pedestrian and bicycle infrastructure. Also completed in 2018 was the West Washington Street Strategic Revitalization Plan and Airport TIF Implementation Plan, which established a vision for the West Washington Street corridor and identifies a values-based prioritization process for investment. And after 2 years of work in 2018, all 9 township land use plans were adopted by the Metropolitan Development Commission. This plan updates nearly 36 antiquated smaller area plans and represents the first time since Unigov that a comprehensive countywide land use plan has been prepared. Lastly, The long-range planning team also released the Plan Indy Mapping Portal, an online mapping application that gives the public access to all of the city's long-range plans. This portal gives residents a one-stop shop for information previously found scattered across multiple locations. Long-range planning's work is representative of the dynamically planned element of Equip to Innovate. The Indy Moves and West Washington Street Strategic Revitalization Plan both incorporate clear, long-term visions for progress. Thank you, Long Range Planning Division, the recipient of this year's Team Neighborhood Award. The individual award recipient in the Neighborhoods category is Vanessa Henshaw, Multi-Agency Sweeps Coordinator with the Department of Business and Neighborhood Services. She was nominated by her colleagues, Ray Lipscomb, Program Associate, Angela Placencia, Supervisor of Unsafe Buildings, and Samantha Wisecup, Administrator of Nuisance Abatement in the Department of Business and Neighborhood Services. So Samantha's going to come up and accept the award on behalf of Vanessa. So let me read a few words about Vanessa's work. Vanessa took over the Multi-Agency Sweeps Program for Business and Neighborhood Services in 2017. The Sweeps Coordinator acts as a liaison to all of the city-county government and outside organizations as well. Vanessa is responsible for organizing cleanups, completing code violation checks of neighborhoods, and giving neighborhoods the resources they need to succeed. Since assuming her role, Vanessa has made significant direct and tangible impact to improve the quality of life in Indianapolis neighborhoods. Vanessa had neither budget allocation for the program nor any sweeps team members, and we know how that goes. Instead, she used her personal skills and creativity to build relationships in support of the mission of the sweeps program. In 2018, Vanessa collaborated with IMPD to establish the Neighborhood Enhancement Team Outreach Program. She engaged 5 internal partners and 11 external partners to attend all monthly outreach events. During each outreach event, the team knocks on every door in a neighborhood and asks the neighbors what they need. Healthcare professionals, WIC representatives, city inspectors, and others are there to assist and even take formal complaints back to the city-county enterprise. This strategy ensures that communities are engaged and informed and that their specific needs get addressed. Vanessa arranged for volunteers from Friends of Indianapolis Dogs Outside, IU Medical School, Near East Area Renewal, Raphael Health Center, the Ross Foundation, and city-county employees to participate in neighborhood cleanups. In 2018, she coordinated neighborhood cleanup efforts that resulted in the removal of more than 700 tons of trash from city streets. Vanessa's programs are an excellent example of what it means to be resident involved. She identifies neighborhoods for outreach based on levels of reported crime, poverty, and code violations, as well as areas that may have limited public transportation access, exist in a food desert, have language barriers, have higher levels of unemployment, or lack access to healthcare and educational services. In all the neighborhoods, Vanessa asks residents what services they need, whether it be safe sleeping sacks for babies, job resources, or help arranging a cleanup. Her collaborative approach engages residents and gets them excited about being a part of the city and making their neighborhoods better. We thank Vanessa for her hard work. Unfortunately, as I said, she couldn't be here, and so Samantha Wisecup is here from the Department of Business and Neighborhood Services to accept the award on her behalf. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce Chief Deputy Mayor Thomas Cook, who will announce the winners in the customer service category.
Mayor. The Mayor's Performance Award for Customer Service is awarded to individuals and teams who have improved customer satisfaction or provided a best-in-class customer experience. The recipient of the Team Award this year in the customer service category is the Marion County Community Corrections Processing Department. The team was nominated by Laurel Reed, Manager of Operations, and the Marion County Community Corrections Processing Department is comprised of the following people. Please come forward as I read your names. Intake Officer, Jason Boyd. Intern, Sierra Durham. Intake Officer, Jeremy Edwards. Intake Officer, Sarah Inlow. Processing Specialist, Mika Fears. Intake Officer, Mariah Flores. Intake Officer, Mark Garrett. Administrative Assistant, Rita Gray. Community Supervision Manager, Alex Lahr. Intake Officer, Kira Polk. Intake Officer, Maria Rady. Intake Officer, Stephanie Smith. Intake Officer, Candace Tipton. And Processing Clerk, Sierra Worthington. The Marion County Community Corrections Processing Department intakes clients from incarceration, court, and community corrections. In previous years, due to limited hours of the processing department, the Marion County Sheriff's Office could only transport clients Monday through Friday between the hours of 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. In 2018, to be more responsive, the processing department expanded hours to 24 hours a day during the week and added weekend hours as well. In 2018, the Marion County Community Corrections Processing Department intaked more than 12,000 people. The increased hours of the processing department have resulted in reduced wait times for clients going through the community corrections intake process. The average wait time decreased 66% from 12 hours in 2017 to 4 hours in 2018. The additional hours have also allowed Sheriff's Office to transport clients to community corrections more frequently, which has improved customer service and reduced county jail overcrowding. The processing department's work is an example of the equipped to innovate element of broadly partnered. Their work shows how partnering with other agencies can lead to a greater community impact for the city-county enterprise. Thank you to the Marion County Community Corrections Processing Department, the recipient of this year's Team Customer Service Award. The individual award recipient in the customer service category is Brian Renner, Forestry Environmental Inspector with Business and Neighborhood Services. Brian was nominated by Renee Carty, manager in the Bureau of Environmental Services, and is this year's winner in the Individual Customer Service Award. Brian joined Business and Neighborhood Services in 2016, and in September 2018 became the Forestry Environmental Inspector. In just a 3-month period, Brian completed 660 forestry and floral permit inspections, tripling the number that had usually been performed. To improve performance, Brian learned industry best practices to manage his routine activities efficiently and effectively. He also informed himself on arboriculture, tree culture, and construction, so he could better explain to private citizens and businesses how to care for trees and why there is a need to remove or prune trees when they become dangerous. Brian is credited for being broadly partnered. He built a relationship between utility groups and the Department of Public Works, and he secured contracts with telecom companies during his short tenure. Brian's high-quality work has already received significant praise from the Marion County Tree Board and its members. Brian, thank you for your hard work and congratulations. And now I get the honor of introducing our replacement for Fadi Kadora, and I would just say on his behalf, you all know what it would take to keep him out of this event, and an opportunity to speak to all of you. But on behalf of Fadi, if it hasn't already been said, you know, he loves this event, he loves the spirit behind it, he loves the work that Hope's office is doing, so he would have been here if he could. But in his absence, I am introducing Brian Berg, who will present the next round of awards.
The next Mayor's Performance Award category is Fiscal Solvency. To receive this award, the team and individual winners must have achieved cost savings or increased revenues by significantly improving performance or operations. The recipient of the Team Award in Fiscal Solvency category is the Marion County Treasurer's Office TREX program. The team was nominated by Rodney Shine, Deputy Treasurer and CFO, with the Marion County Treasurer's Office. The TREX program's team is comprised of the following people. Please come forward as I call out your name. Revenue Recovery Manager, Eric Garnica. Marion County Treasurer, Claudia Fuentes. Former Administrative Deputy Treasurer, Cindy Land. Assistant Records Manager, Kim Myers. And Deputy Treasurer of Operations, Joshua Pruitt. Oh, I'm sorry. TREX, which is short for Tax Refund Exchange and Compliance System, is designed to help counties collect outstanding debts in a timely, cost-effective manner. TREX allows Indiana local governments to submit debts of at least $25 to the Indiana Department of Revenue for the purpose of intercepting personal income tax refunds. In partnership with the Association of Indiana Counties, Marion County volunteered and was selected by the National Association of Counties to structure and implement the first pilot program nationally. Based on the groundbreaking success of the program, TREX has now expanded to multiple other states and 40 other Indiana counties. Prior to the TREX program, a property owner could receive an Indiana personal income tax refund even if they owe delinquent property taxes to Marion County. Marion County is now able to intercept these refunds due to the TREX team's diligent efforts over multiple years. In 2018, 15,000 notices were mailed to parcel owners with delinquent accounts. From that mailing, the county received 6,148 payments totaling $5.9 million. The TREX program was then able to intercept 1,146 state personal income tax refunds from those parcel owners who failed to respond to the delinquency notice. More than $189,000 in refunds were intercepted and applied to delinquent accounts. The Marion County Treasurer's Office embodies the Equipped to Innovate element, data-driven, as they use data to measure the program's outcomes and plan for the future. Thank you, Marion County Treasurer's Office TREX team, the recipient of this year's Team Fiscal Solvency Award. The individual award recipient in the Fiscal Solvency category is Safety Manager Emory Robinson. Emory was nominated by Sarah Kopsef of Human Resources Deputy Director and Brett Weininger, Deputy Controller with the Office of Finance and Management. Emory began working for the city in 2016 as the city's safety manager and continues in this capacity today. Since joining the city, he has reduced the workers' compensation reporting times by 75%. In 2018, Emory established a resource library of training materials after completing a cost-benefit analysis to determine its potential value to the city. In addition to creating the library, he centralized defensive driving courses and the purchasing of occupational safety and health administration training software. To improve clinical care, Emory gave workers' compensation clinicians greater access to information, including clinical care instructions and updated job descriptions. He also reinstated biannual review of claims. Because of his work, the city-county workers' compensation total cost was reduced by $403,000 in 2018. Emory's work exemplifies the Equipped to Innovate element, dynamically planned. Emory clearly crafted his intent to better comply with occupational safety and health administration rules and mandated 24-hour response time. He then marketed to departments his long-term vision to catch claims early for diagnosis, investigation, and treatment. Emory, thank you for your dedicated service and congratulations. Now let me welcome Tim Moriarty, Special Counsel to the Mayor, to announce our Distinguished Service Award.
The Individual Distinguished Service Award recognizes a city-county employee who has at least 20 years of service and whose contributions have greatly improved the city of Indianapolis. The full list of nominees appears in your program, and we take note of their longtime service within the city-county enterprise. Let's give them all a round of applause. This year's recipient of the Distinguished Service Award is Annie Kern, Outreach Director for the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. Annie began her employment with the city of Indianapolis in 1989. In 1996, she started the landmark program, Walk with IMPD. When she moved to the prosecutor's office in 2011, she launched another landmark program, the Community Justice Academy. Some of the comments we heard about Annie were, Annie was awesome at her job. She genuinely cared about our East District community people, including, quote, her middle shift officers. Annie's a blessing to the city of Indianapolis. I love to see good things come to good people. You're good people, Annie. Well done. We love Annie. And finally, my favorite, she's not retiring, is she? Annie is an innovator with the ability to bring people together. Thank you for choosing to serve Indianapolis, Annie. To honor and celebrate you, we have prepared a short video.
For me, Annie Kern is so valuable just to the city. Terry Curry's very lucky. No one knows the community better than she does. No one's more engaged than she is. Everything that she does starts here and she takes it somewhere that no one seemed possible. Her last event with IMPD was Walk with IMPD, where she's to annually get neighbors around 30th to get together and walk around and talk about crime in the area. So she's been a groundbreaker doing lots of things that we're doing now. She was doing a decade ago.
Annie Kern began her work with the City of Indianapolis in 1989 as a Crime Watch coordinator. In 1996, she saw news reports concerning the adverse effects of sedentary lifestyles in our culture. Her vision was simple: to get citizens to exercise for the month of May in Washington Park alongside police officers. From 1996 to 2010, Walk with IMPD was a huge success. The daily numbers of citizens participating grew to be over 200 people a day. Police-community relations were strong, Washington Park was vibrant, and citizens were seen throughout the year exercising together.
Annie really instilled a sense of trust, a sense of collaboration, a sense of a spirit of transparency between the police department and the community. Annie's vision for that walk really was the impetus for community policing. At that time it was IPD, it was East District. They were seeing historically high levels of crime, and this was a new way to connect with communities and really help to reduce crime.
In 2011, Annie joined the Marion County Prosecutor's Office as the Outreach Coordinator. Knowing what her agency had to offer and the lack of community awareness of the complicated criminal justice system, she put together a Community Justice Academy. It was designed to be resident involved, where citizens would learn about the criminal justice system.
I was first a candidate for prosecutor in 2010. There must have been easily 10 to 15 different people who said, you need to hire Annie Kern. I did not know who Annie Kern was at the time, and it was the single worst mistake I ever made. Annie's in my office every single day. Terry, what do you think about this? Or I had this idea, and I'm kidding, of course. Annie is a dynamo. She is a force of nature, and she's a delight to work with. And more importantly, as it relates to this award, she probably does more than anyone in the city to inspire confidence in the criminal justice system and in public safety agencies. I love Annie Kern.
I think she is just a kind, caring, professional person. I mean, her demeanor and her attitude to everyone is just outstanding.
I'd just like to thank her for the years of service that she's put in, the dedication. She's truly an outstanding lady in my opinion. Just to add to where she knows where it's coming from, she makes fantastic coffee.
The Community Justice Academy celebrated its 8th year in 2018 and continues to grow. The most recent academy averaged more than 100 citizens at each session in 2018. Speakers include judges, federal, state, and local law enforcement officers, crime victims, the health department, and more.
Annie, congratulations. Well deserved.
So Annie, they just described to me what the award is, and it's exactly how I would have described you. What you do and what you've done for this city, it will never be matched. Congratulations. No one deserves this more than you do.
Congratulations, Annie, on your award. It's well deserved. Couldn't be a finer lady.
Congratulations, Annie. We look forward to seeing you in future services, and you very well deserve any and all awards that you're getting.
On behalf of the men and women of the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department and the Indianapolis Police Department, Annie, congratulations on this award. You have really earned it, and we can't wait to see what you do in the future.
No speech, right? Hope said it was up to me. What I will say is, as a city, county employee, there's the title, whether it's Crime Watch Specialist or a Community Outreach Coordinator for the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. The real effort is, are you willing, when the call comes or the email, and it isn't your job? That's the effort and the willingness that I try to put forth, no matter what the call is. And there are specifics that I can remember that I won't discuss here, but I'm telling you, it involved getting a building boarded when a 12-year-old had been violated in an empty building, or it's getting an officer to a sick child's home. My point is, no matter what the title was I willing to step up to the plate when the call or the email came at 4 or 5 p.m. in the evening? Thanks, everyone. My family, where are you? Thank you for coming. Thank you, Prosecutor Kern, and my staff and my co-workers. Thanks, Hope, for a minute at the microphone. This is sweet. Thank you.
Congratulations. It's pretty awesome. Okay, I see people cry, I start crying. So I need a moment to compose myself. But please join me in giving a round of applause and thanking all of our nominees and award winners today. Thank you, Mayor Hogsett. Thank you to our presenters. Thank you to the nominees, the award winners, and invited guests for attending these Mayor's Performance Awards today. I'd also like to take just a quick moment to thank the following people who made this event possible. We had an evaluation committee for the Mayor's Performance Awards who had a very hard job, and they sifted through all of those nominations and made some hard decisions. I want to thank Ryan Click from Information Services Agency who helped us get our audio-video situation together. Alan Dare from Channel 16, who did the video, did a great job with that, and all the folks who showed up to participate in that. And Jennifer Dare, who was the voice artist, so I didn't have to do that this year. It was really nice. I want to thank Tawana Ellis from Human Resources, and I want to thank my team, the members of the Office of Audit and Performance. You are awesome, and I could not be more appreciative of the work that you do and the way you do it. So thank you. This concludes the program, but it's not quite over because we have a big cake back here that needs to be consumed. There's some fresh fruit and punch, and we hope that you'll stay around and congratulate your colleagues and spend a few minutes. We can stay here till 4, but you know. So thanks everybody. Thank you again.